Continuing coverage as schools prepare to open their doors. New data released from the CDC shows the rate of coronavirus cases in children in the U.S. has been steadily increasing. While there's no vaccine yet for COVID, a local doctor tells News 5's MAYO Davison what symptoms parents need to watch out for, an important message about all vaccinations.
Chris Nyquist with the Children's Hospital Colorado says the current uptick in COVID-19 cases is notable in the high school to college ages.
Elementary schools versus junior high school versus college, they all have different risks based on the populations.
That's why the hospital recommends younger children be placed in small groups or cohorts during the school day where the risk of transmission is low. It's harder to cohort older children due to the higher rate of infection and likelihood of them not following rules.
1 out of 10 of all of our COVID infections is in that age range. And so we don't have that equal proportion of young kids getting infected.
She says older children are the ones spreading the virus.
I love teenagers and I love working with teenagers, but it's really tough when you have peer pressure not to wear a mask.
She says it's important for parents to be a role model and practice social distancing guidelines. When it comes to symptoms, there are some signs they can watch out for.
Fever is always something that people look for, and that's not as common in children. But in older kids, a fever and a cough and shortness of breath, just like for the adults, is really a common symptom.
Babies may only have a fever or milder symptoms, and as we approach flu season, Nyquist says it's important children get their vaccinations.
That's going to be tough for us to decide whether it's the flu or whether it's COVID. And so if you get a vaccine for flu, that's going to actually help us.
She says right now, parents are deferring some of the basic vaccinations.
One of the things that is really important is getting those routine childhood vaccinations, the measles vaccine.
She says it's important for parents to get with their local doctor to figure out the best plan to keep their family from getting the virus. The hospital has some resources for parents regarding guidelines and back to school. We'll have a link on KOAA.com. Always watching out for you, Colorado Springs. MAYO Davison, News 5.